In the Bible, there was a woman named Hannah. She was married to a man named Elkanah, and though he loved her dearly, her heart carried a deep sorrow. She had no child. In those days, barrenness was seen as a curse, a mark of shame. And to make things worse, Elkanah had another wife, Peninnah, who had many children. Every day, Peninnah mocked Hannah. "Where is your child, Hannah? Maybe God has forgotten you." Her words were like arrows piercing Hannah's soul. And though Elkanah tried to comfort her, saying, "Am I not better to you than 10 sons?" it wasn't enough. Hannah longed for a child. She longed for a miracle. One year, during their visit to the temple in Shiloh, Hannah could no longer hold back her pain. She ran to the altar, fell on her knees, and began to pray. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Lord Almighty, if you will look upon my misery and give me a son, I will give him back to you all the days of his life." Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Eli, the high priest, saw her and thought she was drunk. "Woman, how long will you stay drunk? Put away your wine." But Hannah looked up, her eyes filled with sorrow. "No, my Lord, I am not drunk. I am pouring out my soul before the Lord." Eli saw her brokenness and spoke a word that would change everything. "Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant your request." Hannah left the temple different. Her heart was still waiting, but now she had peace. And soon, the impossible happened. Hannah conceived and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, which means, "Because I asked the Lord for him." God had answered her tears. But Hannah had made a vow. She had promised God that if he gave her a son, she would give him back to the Lord. Could she really let go? When Samuel was old enough, Hannah did the unthinkable. She brought him back to the temple and placed him in the hands of Eli. "For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my request. So now I give him back to the Lord for all his days." She left Samuel in the temple, trusting that God had a greater plan for her son. And indeed, Samuel grew up to become one of the greatest prophets in Israel, anointing kings and leading God's people. The lesson for us, Hannah's story, teaches us a powerful lesson. God sees your pain. He saw Hannah's tears, and he sees yours. Delays are not denials. Just because the answer hasn't come yet doesn't mean it won't. Faith moves mountains. Hannah kept praying, and in the end, God gave her more than she asked. Whatever you are waiting for, keep believing, because the God who answered Hannah is still answering prayers today. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Psalm 126, verse 5. Like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories.